Viking Adventure. Wolf and Wilma came to the door. It was time to go to school. Kipper told everyone about this adventure at the teddy bear's picnic, but nobody believed him. Biff, Chip, and Wolf were in Mrs. Johnson's class. The children liked Miss Johnson. He made everything interesting, and he told lots of good stories. Miss John had a model ship. Can you tell me what's the sort of ship this is? He asked. Wolf put his hand. It's a Viking ship, he said. Well done, Wolf, said Mrs. Johnson. Miss Johnson, Mr. Johnson showed the children a picture of a Viking ship. This ship was called a longship, he said. It had oars and sail and moved very fast through the water. The Viking lived a long time ago, said Mrs. Johnson, but they crossed the sea in ships like this. Miss Johnson showed the children a Viking helmet and a Viking shield. Mrs. Johnson helped the children with a Viking project. It was very interesting. They made a model longship and they made a Viking shells and helmets. Miss Johnson took the children into school hall. They made a big longship. Then they all dressed up as Vikings and project to the rule. It's hard work being a Viking, said Biff. The children came home from school. They looked at the magic key. They wanted it glowed because it had not glowed for a long time. Kipper told them about the magic adventure, but still nobody believed him. Kipper was upset. The magic key glowed in the night, he said. It glowed when it was dark. It did. Biff looked at the key. I wonder, she said. Maybe Biff had a good idea. Maybe the key will glow in the dark, she said. She got the torch and then she found a big, thick blanket. The children sat on the floor and they pulled the blanket over themselves. It was dark under the blanket. Suddenly, the key began to glow. The magic was working after all. I told you so, said Kipper. There was no wind. The Viking rowed the long ship across the sea. Every man pulled on the oars. It was hard to work being a Viking. Suddenly, the wind blew. Hooray! shouted the Viking. Now we can pull up the sail. The winds can blow the ship along. We don't have to work so hard. One of the Vikings heard a noise. He wanted to look. He found the children's. Oh no, said Wolf. We are on a Viking long ship. I don't believe it. The Viking jumped back. He couldn't believe either. He looked very furious. Oh dear, said Kipper. It doesn't look pleased to us. The Viking pushed the children to back of the longship. Look at these animals, said Kipper. I don't like in there. It smells the wind. The wind began to blow harder. The Viking put up a sail. The wind blew harder and the ship tossed up and down. The waves splashed over the children. They got colder and wet. Kipper began to fix sail. It's not much fun in a long ship, he said. Feel sick だから多分風邪じゃないよ。冷たいから。At last, the long ship landed. Hooray, shouts the Viking. They jump into the water and across carries the box, says and bearers to shore. The children look over the side of the long ship. I hope we don't have to jump in. Said Kipper. It looks cold and wet. You don't have to jump in, said the Viking. I will throw you in. The children went to the shore. The village were amazed. They have never seen the children like these before. Kipper had some sweets. He shared them with the Viking children. They had never seen sweets before. They didn't know what to do with them. 食べるのよ。まあ、食べるのは知ってるんだ。これ食べるっていうのは知らないんだけど、でも食べるものはその時代あった。The Viking took the children into a long hole. A fire was burning in the middle of the floor. There was smoke everywhere. I began to get dark, and soon it was time to have some food. So this is what Vikings eat, said Wolf. As soon as it was dark and the long ship sailed close onto the shore. On the long ship were some Vikings raiders. They were going to attack the village. When the villagers saw the long ship and ran into a long hole. Help, help, he cried. Raiders are landing. Towards the village, they are going to attack, said Wolf. What do we do? I wish the magic key would glow, said Kipper. Biff had an idea. She shut her torch. The raisins and villagers had never seen a light this before. They were frightened and they fell into the ground. The raiders ran back into their long ship and sailed away. Hooray, said the villagers. They don't come back in a hurry. The Vikings looked at Biff's torch. This is a magic thing, they said. It frightened us, but it frightened the riders. Even more, it saved our village. The village lit a big fire on the bench. They had a party for the children. They gave Biff a shell. Thank you, said Biff. It's beautiful. Biff wanted to give the torch to the Vikings, but Wolf told her to not. The magic key began to glow. It was time for the adventure to end. Biff showed the Viking shield to Mrs. Johnson. It's very good, said Mr. Johnson. But Viking shells did not like this. Biff looked at Wolf and smiled. That's the end of the story. I hope you enjoy it, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.